Greetings, my lovelies. Hi, it's Emmy. Welcome back. Today, I'll be eating this. This is Astronaut Beef Stew Space Dinner. So this is a freeze-dried meal, and it's similar to some of the meals that they had on the Apollo and Space Shuttle flights. If you've missed my other space food tastings, I'll put the links down below. I've eaten the ice cream and the bananas, so you can check them out down there. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So let's see what's in here. Oh, great. That, I think, is the beef stew. It looks nothing like beef stew. Here's the corn, and here is the chocolate pudding. So I'm going to make the beef stew first, because that one takes the longest. So let's pour that into there. 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so we'll give that a stir, and it says to cover that and let it sit for 10 minutes. Just put a lid on this and set that aside. This we empty in here. 1/4 cup of water. All right. Ooh, and that, not surprisingly, smells a lot like corn. Cover that up. Let that sit for 8 minutes. This says to add it to a bowl. A 1/2 cup of cold water. Give that a stir. And then it says to place it in the refrigerator for 5 minutes. Wow, that doesn't look so appetizing. Alright, so let's go ahead and eat this. It has been actually over 10 minutes. Looks like the peas have puffed up a bit, the potatoes as well, and the corn, and there are tiny little pieces of beef. The smell I mostly get is the smell of cooked potato, a lot like instant mashed potatoes. Here we go, itadakimasu. Not very good. That's actually pretty terrible. It's thick like a gravy, but doesn't have much flavor. Not even a beef soup or stew or anything. The potatoes taste like potato. They're almost like mashed potatoes, though. When you bite them, they kind of just disintegrate. And the peas and carrots, these taste exactly like the peas and carrots that you get in a cup of noodle soup. More of a concentrated vegetable flavor because they've been dried out, with a little bit more of a kind of toothy bite because they're dried. The beef is actually very similar to the beef that you would find in a cup of noodle soup as well. A little bit spongy in texture, quite small, so it's just a tiny little bite, and a vague kind of taste of beef. All right, let's look at our corn. So this has been sitting here for over 8 minutes. There seems to be a little bit of water at the bottom still, so it didn't absorb all of the water. Let's give the corn a taste. That's not bad. A little watery, but you can drain out this water. It needs a little bit of butter and salt. The consistency of the corn's a little bit different. It's got a little bit different bite. But in terms of flavor, it's quite good. It tastes like corn, it's sweet. And lastly, we have our chocolate pudding. Look at that, that looks a lot like chocolate pudding. It's a little bit chunky. I probably should have added the water in a little bit slower so it wouldn't get so lumpy, but it has the consistency of pudding. So let's give that a taste. Here we go. And tastes like chocolate pudding, just like the stuff you get out of the box. Not bad. This is supposed to simulate what astronauts ate anyways, so hopefully what our astronauts eat isn't like this. At any rate, if you're interested in trying this, I'll put the information down in the description box and you can find it yourself. These kind of dehydrated foods are really popular for backpackers and campers, so let me know in the comments below if you've tried them before, and if so, which ones are your favorite. I'd love to know because I'd like to try them. And don't forget to sub if you're not subbed already, and give me a thumbs up so I know you like this kind of video. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you guys learned something, and I shall see you in my next video. Toodaloo, take care, bye. The last time I was at Trader Joe's, I found these, and they're jackfruit chips. So jackfruit is that fruit right there. I don't know if you can see that. It's a huge fruit, huge fruit. I think it can grow up to 80 pounds.